Oh, and a nice jab. Patrick's looking for finishing techniques here.
Chopping left hook. Now behind the jab again.
I think that body might be hurt. Oh, that's a nice short counter right hand. Reminding Habarora he can't get a little too overzealous on the inside. And a takedown.
Got the hands together. Nice work by Safta. That was a deep shot, full penetration, and then had the hands locked, but Safta stays on his feet.
Patrick needs to dig a little more with that underhook.
Use his position, gentlemen.
Starting to work down the body to the legs. Now he switches to a single leg, takes some elbows for his trouble.
With the nasty elbows coming down, that Travis Brown style elbow.
Your hands out the gloves.
Forces Safta to stand back up. Two minutes left in round number 2. Co-main event here in Lyon, France. Patrick Habarora attacking the body of Catalin Safta. And now in combination, Safta happy to offer one back.
Your fingers, Patrick.
Safta does a good job of balling up and covering himself. He really takes very few shots clean. I think if I'm Patrick now, I'm looking at working to the body, because every time he attacks to the head, there are ribs exposed there.
Fast hook. Safta offers a leg kick. Has had some success with that attack. Good catch on the kick there from Habarora. You saw Safta bail out on that one.
Switches his stance. Is he going to look for a body kick? Thinking about it. There. Oh man, whipped that around. Safta was lucky he was moving away from it.
Habarora's given him that body kick to look at and brought that one a little bit higher. So Safta's now going to have to account for both the head kick and the body kick on the defense. But he does a great job, as you mentioned, Dan, of taking steam off of everything with his movement. Doesn't eat anything very clean. High kick attempt again there from Habarora, blocked.
Beautiful footwork. Look at that. Just had a message from the big boss, Don Davis, who is thoroughly enjoying this PFL Europe event. Lovely footwork here again by Habarora. Just drifts, so light on his toes. Nice feint there. Getting Safta to bite on that feint. You know he's going to throw that head kick in against at some point.
Safta tried to right-hand the body, spinning back fist from Habarora and a jab as round 2 winds down. One more round in our co-main event here in Lyon, France. Patrick Habarora and Catalin Safta shows some versatility, a bit of a treat for the fans here at LDLC Arena in a packed house.
So here we go. Beautiful little front kick there, snaps up the center line and gets his attention. But this is where Patrick starts to do his best work, in my opinion, when he's forced his opponent up against the fence. Really fast hands, beautiful work. And there's the body kick again. I think we're going to see more of that this time round, this fight, this next round, because he's had a lot of success with it, and it gives him another option from his southpaw stance. And those Travis Brown elbows, a very, very good takedown defense deterrent.
Third and final here in the co-main event. Patrick Habarora in the green, Catalin Safta in the black. 5 more minutes here in Lyon. Catch weight opportunity for both of these fighters. Safta felt like Patrick Habarora was a little bit overhyped coming into this fight. I'd be surprised if the judges don't have it 2 rounds to none for Habarora if we get there.
And I also think Safta might be understanding some of the hype now coming behind Patrick Habarora, the speed and the skills that this kid's got. Beautiful jab again.
Safta incredibly game though. And as you've noted several times, just very defensively sound. Not able to get a ton of offense going here. He's been too reactive to everything Haberora is throwing, but very dangerous, especially right after the breaks. Nifty attack there from Haberora, who has been showing different stances.
Safta fights like a veteran as well. He's a very, very patient fighter. You can see his composure when he's under pressure by Patrick. His defense is very, very well thought out.
Put your heads!
Man, little clash forward there. Haberora just missed the knee. Good footwork by Safta to get out of the way as Haberora changed levels.
Good low kick there by Safta. Haberora switches to southpaw, maybe looking for that kick again. Stab to the midsection with the front kick, back to orthodox.
That's new. He hasn't offered that yet so far in this fight. Constantly evolving, new attacks, giving Safta new things to look at. Heavy leg kick again from Safta.
Charging Safta and knocked him out!
What a knockout that was! What a knockout!
And off into the LDLC Arena crowd, Patrick Haberora gone in a flash.
Coach! Just wait. No, it's all right.
That was incredible. What an incredible knockout that was.
I mean, he had put the speed on display for the entire fight, Dan. And as Catalin Safta came in building confidence with an attack of his own, Haberora catches him and puts him away in the third.
Man, what an incredible knockout that was. Man, I've got to see the replay. That was superb. The timing on that was just perfection. Here we go. So we can see Safta coming crashing forward. Oh, what a punch!
Unbelievable. Oh my!
Here we go. Look at this short right hand. Incredible. And rolls out of the counter punch on the underside. That was superb. Here it is one more time. Head movement. Pow! Game over. Manages to get one more good one in there before the referee jumps in. Great work by the officials. Incredible. What a knockout.
And look at the athleticism on the exit here, Dan.
Straight over the cage.
Patrick Haberora. I mean, more and more wrinkles added to the game every time we see him. Switching stances, on the retreat, that chopping right hand, perfectly timed, perfectly placed.
Man, he's still unstable on his feet, still not sure exactly what's happened. We've got the doctors in there with him. Man, what a knockout that was. Right, I'm heading in there to talk to these guys.
Patrick Haberora remains undefeated. 5-0 now. Four of those wins have come by knockout. Andy Shepard has the official call.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, referee Dan Moverhead calls a halt to the action at 2 minutes and 16 seconds of round number 3, declaring your winner, by knockout, Patrick Haberora!
The Belgian bomber, unblemished here in Lyon. Dan Hardy has the winner.
Who's the social media guy now? Who's the social media guy?
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with your winner, knockout artist, Patrick Habarora. That, my friend, was one of the most perfect punches I have ever seen. Talk to me about it.
Patrick, je suis aux côtés de Patrick Habarora, l'un des artistes peintres du chaos. Là, c'était l'un des plus beaux coups de poing que je n'ai jamais vu. Raconte-nous ce qui s'est passé de ton point de vue.
Let me. Hey! Wesh, Pélan, le 6-9, ça va ou quoi? Eh, la vie de ma mère. Dans le premier round, je sais même pas ce qui m'a touché. À un moment donné, j'ai cru que j'étais en train de manger chez moi un bon grec. J'ai dit, wesh! Arrête, mon coach, il m'a dit, eh, reste dans le fight. J'ai dit, ah ouais, c'est reste combat, merde. Eh les gars, j'ai une chose à dire. Ce sport, c'est que à propos du respect. J'ai senti que on m'a quand même manqué de respect en venant dans ce fight. On a dit que j'étais un mec des réseaux sociaux. On a dit que je regardais des dessins animés. Flashball dans le crâne, mon pote. Le PFL. Je sais que vous aimez les guerres comme ça. I know you love the war like this, Dan. I told you resign me. I told you resign me. I want the next main event in Belgium. Let's go!
Voilà, effectivement, alors il a abordé pas mal de thématiques différentes, la plupart en français. So, for the English viewers watching us all around the world, obviously Patrick extremely excited about what happened here. He called everyone out saying, you thought I was from I'm all about social media. You thought I was all about the hype. Well, look at the reality now. That was something off the chain as well. He's ready for more. He's shown he can get the job done. He's delivered the payload. And Dan, he wants more.
Patrick, I've got one more question.
Добре, че я течение мак адрек дир эка дир жам теш же элка плеер тифазо сартирил мак маш камбор. Мишил мак Allah течери.
Patrick, qu'est-ce que ça représente d'être justement ce gars, ce combattant qui met l'arène en feu, invaincu, 4 victoires par KO?
Les gars, juste, je tenais à vous dire un truc. Je sais que vous n'avez pas l'habitude de voir ça. Je sais que mon coach, il va être un peu surpris. Moi, j'ai pas peur de le dire. En venant dans ce combat, j'ai vu comment ça parlait de moi sur les réseaux. Je veux juste vous dire un message, les gars. On est des combattants, mais on n'est pas des super-héros. Je vous jure, la veille, dans ma chambre d'hôtel, je suis encore en train de trembler. J'ai dormi à 3h du mat parce que j'avais peur, en venant dans le combat, de vous décevoir. Laissez-moi finir. Laissez-moi finir. Moi, je vais vous dire la vérité. On regarde ce qui se passe sur les réseaux. On regarde quand les gens nous parlent. Même si on nous manque de respect, on le voit aussi. Et des fois, ça fait pas plaisir. C'est la première fois que je parle comme ça, mais j'ai vu des images de Patrick l'Étoile de Mer en train de se faire mettre KO sur Insta. Les gars, j'ai 23 ans. Je pense que j'affronte déjà des gars qui sont plus âgés que moi. Déjà, ça fait peur. Mais juste, un grand merci à vous pour le soutien. Un grand merci à vous pour l'amour. Et un dernier message. Juste, j'en profite. Tant que j'ai la parole et que j'ai ce micro en main, n'oubliez pas ce qui se passe dans le monde, s'il vous plaît. N'oubliez pas que ce soit la Palestine, que ce soit le Congo, que ce soit le Soudan, que ce soit partout. S'il vous plaît, venez, on n'oublie pas. Venez, on continue à partager. Venez, qu'on fasse juste la paix dans le monde. Je sais que c'est bateau de dire ça comme ça. Je sais que je ne vais pas changer le monde. Mais je sais que là, maintenant, il y a 10 000 personnes ici à Lyon qui m'écoutent. Il y en a peut-être des centaines de milliers qui me voient sur Insta, les réseaux sociaux. N'oubliez pas les guerres dans le monde, s'il vous plaît, les gars. Merci.
Well, multiple messages, Dan, if you will. I'll go really quickly on some of the essential ones here. Patrick just giving us a window, a little insight into what his night was last night before the fight tonight. Obviously getting to bed very late, anticipating what lies ahead and what he had to go up against today. Just a special moment in the life of this 23-year-old fighter delivering an unbelievable promise, and he certainly did that out here tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, undefeated, 23 years old, one of the hottest prospects in the world of mixed martial arts right now, Patrick Habarora!
Patrick Habarora. The hype train, for now, stays firmly on the tracks. Up next, our main event, Laureano Staropoli
Hard-hitting Argentine looking to spoil the party here in Lyon as he takes on a French favorite, a man who reigns supreme, a grappling specialist, abdouraguimov, better known as the Lazy King.
The Lazy King. Everyone on their feet. This man is a cult hero. Staropoli, 6 knockouts to his credit.
He is a warm, that's way of describing him. He brings the fight every time. And it's going to be an absolute scrap. December 14th, live from Lyon.
And a rising star are set on a collision course in the culmination of the road to Dubai. Usman Nurmagomedov carrying the weight of the Nurmagomedov legacy, and Paul Hughes leading the charge for the next generation of Irish MMA.
Paul Hughes versus Usman Nurmagomedov, and I think we should do it in Dubai.
All with the lightweight world title on the line. Saturday, January 25th, live from Dubai. Dagestan versus Ireland 2, Nurmagomedov versus Hughes.
Soirée, et il y a une raison particulière pour laquelle c'est le dernier.
One final order of business to attend to here in Lyon, France. Our PFL Europe Championship card capped off by an incredible main event, a classic battle, grappler versus striker. 3 5-minute rounds brought to you by that prize guy between abdouraguimov, the Lazy King, and Laureano Staropoli.
Smart cage, Laureano Staropoli.
Laureano Staropoli embracing the role of villain in France here tonight. Under the Argentine flag, he has delivered some incredible knockouts as a professional. 7 so far as a pro in his career. As we mentioned earlier in the night, training partner of the likes of Glover Teixeira, Alex Pereira, spent some time in the same camp. As the former light heavyweight champion of the PFL Global season, Emiliano Sordi.
Let's go!
I love the intensity of this music as well. As you said, he's really leaning into the heel role. He loves being the bad guy, going into somebody else's territory and taking what's theirs. I'm a big fan of this guy. I love the way that he fights. Always throws caution to the wind to try and get the finish, and hunts for the body with every one of those big power shots once he has you trapped up against the fence.
And his opponent, the Lazy King, abdouraguimov.
One of the many signatures of the Lazy King, the acrobatic entrance. Dan, oftentimes he expends just as much energy in the entrance as he does in an actual fight because he's got this incredibly efficient grappling style. Gets you to the ground, takes your back, and just gradually moves into a position where he can separate you from your consciousness with a choke. 18 wins as a pro, 12 of those have come by submission. He has a couple of knockouts as well, but the Lazy King is not shy about his preferences. He knows where he has the biggest advantage, not just in this fight, but in pretty much every fight. And he's got a huge following here in France. on the verge of mega stardom if he can continue to deliver with strong performances. He fought in Paris the same night that Cedric Doumbé made his PFL debut, and we could not leave the parking lot because it was the Lazy King fans that surrounded the bus, pounding on the windows, waiting for him to get off to take a picture. Sale to Take brought to you by that prize guy, abdouraguimov, 29 years of age, Lyon staropoli on the other side at 30. Staropoli, the taller fighter here, standing at 6'1". Both men weighed in exactly the same and have the exact same reach on both arms and legs.
Main event, keys to victory for the Lazy King. Got to set up his takedowns. He can't be too obvious. If he can get the fight to the ground, he's got to control and strike, and that will lead to the chokes and strangles that he is so well known for. For Lyon staropoli, be aggressive early, take the initiative, pressure with boxing, and of course, if he finds himself in scrambles, he's got to wrestle safely and get back to his feet without getting tangled up.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lyon, France! The following fight is scheduled for 3 rounds of action in the welterweight division. It's our main event, and the world is watching! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He is an MMA specialist and stands 6 feet 1 inches tall. He weighed in officially at 170.8 pounds. His 19-fight record stands at 13 wins and 6 losses. He fights out of La Plata, Buenos Aires, Argentina, and is LyonPFL staropoli. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner. He is a grappling specialist and stands 5 feet 10 inches tall. He weighed in officially at 170.6 pounds, and across his 20-fight career has built a record of 18 victories, just 1 defeat, and a single no contest. He fights out of Nantes, France, and he is the Lazy King, abdouraguimov. Your referee in charge, Rich Mitchell.
Gentlemen, you're going to protect yourselves at all times. Obey my instructions at all times. You keep fighting till I tell you to stop. Touch gloves if you want. Step back.
Ooh, frosty. Intensity from Lyon staropoli, who's in the black trunks. Abdouraguimov is in the green.
Disciplina.
You ready? You ready? Let's go.
All right, Lazy King walking his way into range. He's so loose and relaxed, even in the striking range. Like anytime he knows that you step forward, he can grab a hold of you, and then you're in all kinds of problems. And staropoli knows this as well. This is why he's measuring at the moment, trying to figure out how best to start this bout, how best to find his way in and hit Abdul with something in the early goings.
Dan, it's one thing to call yourself the Lazy King and to kind of live up to the nickname by being efficient. It's entirely more difficult than people probably realize to recognize the path of least resistance, especially against someone as dangerous as Lyon staropoli.
And staropoli is an incredibly dangerous fighter because he throws with intention and intensity, and he loves fighting. He really enjoys being in these main event situations with the crowd against him, and also knowing that he's got a real problem in front of him with the likes of abdouraguimov. If he's able to come out with the victory, it is a tremendous victory, not only for him, but his camp. Obviously, Pereira in his camp, Glover Teixeira, he wants to take that victory back to those guys. This would mean a lot to him if he's able to topple the Lazy King.
El centro
Chopping away at one another's legs here in the early goings of this fight. Staropoli trying to get the jab going as well.
Lazy King using the inside of the foot to the calf. I like that. Nice work by Staropoli here. Sorry, Sean. I think Lazy King's going to go in a minute. I think he's waiting for the right opportunity and trying to make Staropoli frustrated. He doesn't like moving backwards, Staropoli doesn't. At some point, he's going to be tempted to throw with power, and that's the point where Lazy King's going to disappear underneath and try and get this fight to the floor.
Staropoli has yet to show an uppercut as deterrent, yet to show a knee as deterrent. Stomping kick to the lead leg there from Lazy King, taking away some of that mobility if he can land a couple more.
Oh, that was a good right hand.
Right out at the end of that right hand, snapped the chin of Lazy King around.
Caught Lazy King leaning away, utilized the full extent of his reach, did Staropoli there. And he knows he can't be a sitting duck against Abdul.
Juking back and forth here for Laureano Staropoli.
Hey!
Not going to offer a stationary target for Lazy King to shoot on.
I like how aggressive Lazy King's being here. When you have a ground game that's so feared, it must give you so much confidence just to walk forward and watch people try and get away from you, knowing that as soon as you get your hands on them, you could put them in a world of hurt.
Well, especially against a fighter with the style and the history of Laureano Staropoli, who likes so much to be the one moving forward and leading the dance and being the aggressor in these stand-up exchanges. Forcing him to retreat, move around the outside, can really take a guy outside of what makes him most dangerous. And that Laureano Staropoli offense, a lot of the most effective versions of it have come when he's moving forward in his career.
And the other downside as well for Staropoli moving away is that he's slowly circling himself onto the fence, which is
off balance there. The hook helped push Lazy King down to his butt for a second.
Got to be cautious lifting his chin up when Staropoli throws.
Timed it on the knee there, and Lazy King grabs the legs of Laureano Staropoli and immediately onto the back.
Man, he's so quick, he works so fast in these situations.
He was able to pull Staropoli back awkwardly over his own left leg. And look at this, scramble to the top position.
Beautiful.
Oh, that choke! Look at the tight grip.
Setting up that Darce choke. You can see the pressure on the back of the head. Staropoli's trying to drive his head back to the floor, trying to drive his shoulders back to make it more difficult for Lazy King.
Use that baseball bat grip, and now the squeeze.
Oh, man.
Stepping into the full mount here. Staropoli is able to get his body away, take off some of that pressure. Good defense at the end by Laureano Staropoli.
Really good grappling defense there, aware of all the problems that were coming in his direction and was able to stay safe. Take a look at this. So this is the shot that clipped him and knocked him off balance. Lazy King kind of crossed his feet there and had stepped in to throw a punch of his own. I love that stomp to the thigh that he's doing. Going to take away some of the movement of Staropoli. And that's that long right hand. Caught Lazy King leaning away. We've got to learn those lessons for the next round, but this was very, very close. Potentially cinched the round for Lazy King. Didn't quite get the submission, but was super close with this Darce choke. Tries to step over. Staropoli does a fantastic job of keeping his back flat to the floor. All right.
Round two set to begin in Lyon, France. Laureano Staropoli in the black trunks. Sean O'Connell, Dan Hardy, cage side for our main event at LDLC Arena. Capping off an incredible card so far tonight. 4 PFL Europe Championship belts handed out earlier, 4 $100,000 checks. Patrick Aberora remains undefeated with a knockout in our co-main event, and here we are capping off the evening. A fascinating first round between these two.
Staropoli again, forcing Lazy King onto his back foot a couple of times and really testing him with that reach. Lazy King's got to try and get his head from one side to another instead of going backwards, because Staropoli will start to push forward with more confidence like he does there. Maybe this is Abdul trying to draw him in so he can level change and take him down.
You can see Lariano Staropoli fighting that temptation to blitz forward too aggressively. Try to keep good footwork discipline.
2 good calf kicks in a row.
Made much harder by those kind of attacks from Lazy King. Oh, a nasty heavy one that landed, and Staropoli did on the corker combination. 90 seconds gone in round number 2.
There's tension in this room right now. Staropoli holding the center, trying to push Abdul back for the first time, who level changes, drives the fight to the floor. Great switch on this by Staropoli, who finds himself up against the fence with Abdul on his back again.
Good work by Staropoli to grab that inside switch and then crawl over to the fence.
What's beautiful in Abdul's style is the variety. He just switches from one thing to the next. Managed to get the fight to the floor, but Staropoli's not accepting. Still trying to build up, scrambling safely. This is good work. He gets back to his feet. He's got to break that grip. Abdul with half a round here to work in this second. Going to try and return this fight to the floor. Don't be surprised if he chops into that near side leg. Sweeps him to the floor. There it is. Oh, almost. Great balance by Staropoli. Look at it, a Kimura trap here. Man.
Elevation of the hips there by Lazy King, but again, Staropoli getting those feet back on the floor, elevating himself. Look at this.
Very clever work with that back knee, driving into the hip of Staropoli to force him upright. And again with the reach.
And the way that he just changes the angle on the resistance, he turns the corner. That's how he got this to the ground in the first place.
Potential arm triangle set up here.
That's a tight squeeze.
That looks tight.
That's very tight, and now he steps all the way off. Staropoli grabbing correct defense, grabbing his own leg, keeping his hands locked. The problem is there's a lot of time for abdouraguimov to adjust his grip and to create more and more pressure.
Staropoli using that grip around the back of his leg to hold this arm triangle off, but now Lazy King's managed to separate it.
Steps into the full mount. A lot of people like to finish this from side mount. Tough to get a squeeze in the right angle from the mount position.
Looks to me like he's a little bit too high to finish this, but you see Staropoli trying to kick out here.
Certainly forcing Lariano Staropoli to be defensive. And you can see that some of that space there, the carotid artery pulsing in the neck of Lariano Staropoli. Great job by our camera crew. That's the blood flow that Lazy King's trying to cut off.
Exactly, and he's keeping Staropoli in this fight right now. You can see he's a little bit too high on this arm triangle, but you know that Abdul is going to bail on this in a moment and utilize this position to set the next thing up. With the incredible toughness and submission defense of Staropoli here, most people would have been unconscious by now.
Out of danger temporarily, but still mounted is Lariano Staropoli. Lazy King on top. Final 10 seconds of round 2. Nasty elbows here and a couple of left hands.
Watch the back of the head.
To round 3 we go.
Another impressive round for me from both guys really, but dominant from Lazy King. You've got to wonder what Staropoli's thinking for this next round, because if he steps hard, he's going to find himself on the floor again. He's got 5 minutes to work. If he finds himself in bottom position, Lazy King knows that he can give that a full squeeze with 1 round left. So here you see Lazy King. He throws that near side hook in. Staropoli looks to stand up, and then you're going to see Abdul switch and go the opposite direction. Beautiful work. And then starts to drive forward to take command with that shoulder. He's got the arm wrapped around, he isolates the head and arm choke, and Staropoli does all the right things here. I mean, he wouldn't be in this 3rd round if he didn't, but he just wasn't able to clear this position and get space from Abdul.
One more round in our main event.
Ready.
Here in Lyon, France at LDLC Arena. If there is an open seat in this crowd, I don't know where it is. A lot of folks bought their tickets to see the Lazy King in the green shorts.
Staropoli pushing forward. And on a single leg though, Lazy King runs into the fence. It's just so fluid the way that he latches onto his opponent. And Staropoli's doing everything right here. He's trying to strip the grip. He's trying to stay square to his opponent. He drops his center of gravity and he gets off the fence there.
Great work by Lariano Staropoli.
I like that jab to the body. That might open up a headshot if he invests in that little more.
Southpaw stance now from Staropoli. Goes back to orthodox. Right hand and left hook. Lazy King stays out of range.
Beautiful timing, man. It's so quick. The balance takedown offense of Staropoli has certainly leveled up.
And the level of conditioning necessary to both try to execute these takedowns and to avoid them. Really a testament to the professionalism of both of these fighters.
What do you reckon so far, Sean? Here,
I think it's 2 rounds to Lazy King, but Lariano Staropoli has had his moments. He had that nice right hand in the 1st round. And you never know if judges score submission attempts like that near choke. I mean, that was less than a minute of control for Lazy King in round 1, so it could be a round apiece.
I feel like Lazy King's baiting Staropoli here, who's keeping really excellent discipline by not stepping in with big power punches. Does he know straight away Lazy King's gonna be underneath in no time? Oh, that was a good jab from Staropoli. Caught Lazy King on 1 foot as he was throwing a kick.
Lazy King's only loss has come from a knockout. Staropoli continuing his efforts to try to get to that chin.
Hey, axe kick. Never see those very often. And a back kick. He picked up his taekwondo black belt since the last time we saw it. There's a good calf kick. Crash the knees together as Staropoli. I think we're going to see another takedown here in a moment. Last 2 minutes, that was another great right hand. Part of the benefit of Lazy King being so relaxed is that he rides those punches really well. He's like a reed in the wind. He's calling him on. Like, Staropoli knows the game. He's like, if I stand in front of you and start wailing, you're going to be underneath and on my legs. And that calf is really starting to cause Staropoli some problems.
The inside of the calf has a Alex Pereira tattoo on it. The outside of the calf has some bruising from those accumulated calf kicks thrown by Lazy King.
90 seconds left in this last round. Lazy King with the switch front kick. And then we're going to see him really try and pressure a submission in this last minute. There's no doubt he wants to finish with this Lyon crowd, and it's almost definitely going to come with a choke of some sort. He's being very clever here, trying to draw Staropoli in at I think he also probably surprised at the discipline of Staropoli, who finally finds himself with his butt on the canvas, working a switch again, but you can see Lazy King's covering both of the legs of Staropoli, which means the switch is useless to him. Now he's climbing up the back, but Lazy King might lose this position if Staropoli's able to get all the way back to his feet out in the open.
Oh, instead, Lazy King takes the back and grabs the neck. 30 seconds left in this fight.
Working on that rear naked choke. Staropoli's going to be trying to defend this best he can, but he doesn't want to be in this position on the scorecards for the closing of the fight.
Oh, and that one is around the chin. Can he get a tight enough squeeze? Lazy King pulling on the short choke.
Man, what a squeeze. What great submission defense from Staropoli.
Lazy King will chop away to finish this fight and finish on top. Main event comes to a close and heads to the judges' scorecards in Lyon.
I was in it, my bad.
All right, let's take a look at some of this. So we got the axe kick coming in from Lazy King, and then he goes straight into a back kick. Great work there with those kicks. The thing that really sealed the round, though, for me, for Lazy King, was this fantastic double leg. You see Staropoli go for the switch, but Lazy King goes over both knees and binds his legs together for a moment to nullify that switch.
It's wild how quickly Lazy King is able to progress from a takedown to the submission attempt. I mean, that takedown was basically exactly at 1 minute left in the fight. And with 30 seconds left, Laureano Staropoli is then in very serious danger. It takes less than 30 seconds for the Lazy King to get to the back, to get a squeeze on. Credit to Staropoli for keeping himself alive in that fight, defending those submissions. But the grappling of abdouraguimov potentially carrying him through as we await a judge's decision. A signature celebration for the Lazy King, the upside down hang off the cage. Feels like he's done enough to get the nod here. Andy Shepard one last time with the decision.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to our judges' scorecards. 2 of the judges scored this bout 30-27. The other, 29-28. All for your winner via unanimous decision, the Lazy King, abdouraguimov.
Lazy King victorious on French soil yet again. Had a conversation with Dan Hardy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with your winner, the Lazy King.
Mesdames et messieurs, aux côtés de votre vainqueur, le Lazy King.
That was a tough fight, my friend. You showed some development in your striking, but the wrestling was incredible, as always. Were you surprised he was able to defend those submissions?
Voilà, c'était un combat très intriguant. On a vu évidemment la partie striking où tu as progressé, mais la partie lutte était absolument phénoménale. Est-ce que tu étais impressionné par sa capacité à défendre?
Ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs, bonjour, c'est Lazy King et l'heure est d'une Lazy victoire. Thank you very much. I wasn't surprised because he's an experienced tough fighter. He was disciplined. Even his corner always shouted discipline. I understood that he would be careful. So I said, why not try my striking game, to improve, to have more confidence, And I had. And he has a good defense. My strength wasn't there today, but my striking was better. I have more confidence now, So for the future fights, it will be better.
Je pense que je continue de m'améliorer au niveau du striking. La confiance est là. Je m'améliore dans ce registre. Mais effectivement, j'ai négocié un petit peu tout cela avec mon adversaire tout au long du combat.
What does it feel like to have this amazing Lyon crowd supporting you? As soon as we announced that the Lazy King was on the card, the tickets started flying out. The people love you, my friend. How does that feel?
Quel effet ça te fait d'avoir ce public lyonnais avec toi qui t'a porté pendant le combat? Dès qu'on a annoncé ta présence, ça y est, les gens se sont arrachés les places.
Of course, it feels great. I'm thankful for the people and everyone who supports me. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup, mesdames et messieurs. And you said he was a striker, you know. Everyone said he's a cow power, but I survived, you see. So I need more confidence in my striking. I had it already, but I hadn't the ability to show in the real fight. Today it was, and I feel great because I wasn't, stressed just only for wrestling. Now I become a more MMA fighter, more complete. So thank you much everybody, and just message for my grandmother in Dagestan. Abba Bibi, salam alaikum. Woo!
Effectivement, j'ai pu progresser dans plusieurs registres, mais évidemment l'attention du public de Lyon, ça représente beaucoup pour moi, mais j'ai pu montrer là encore ma progression en ce qui concerne le striking, et j'ai pu faire la différence là aussi du côté du sol. Il a salué également sa grand-mère du côté du Daghestan.
This is the Dagestan flag, ladies and gentlemen. France, Dagestan. I'm a world citizen. I don't care where I am, but I know from where I came, from Dagestan, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Salam alaikum.
Je suis un vrai citoyen du monde. Ça, c'est le drapeau du Daghestan, que ce soit la France ou le Daghestan, peu importe. Je sais où je suis, peu importe où je suis, mais je me souviens toujours d'où je viens.
Lazy King, I have one more question for you. A great finish to the end of 2024, but what does 2025 hold for you, and when do we get to see you fight next?
Une dernière question, Lazy King. 2024 se solde avec cette somptueuse performance. Et qu'en est-il de 2025? Où est-ce qu'on te retrouvera à l'avenir?
I don't know what, but the adventure continues, and like always, I'm looking to fight the best in the world and chasing the belt like any fighter in the world. So let's go for the belt. PFL, the PFL worldwide needs me to watch because people in the United States, they wasn't able to watch the fight tonight because it wasn't available there. So people need the Lazy King worldwide, especially in the United States. So let's go.
Je ne saurais vous répondre précisément, mais en tout cas, la déclaration d'intention est là. J'aimerais le titre, je veux une ceinture, et PFL Worldwide, PFL Global.
If it was a 5 rounds fight, I could head with a calf kick, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm here for the adventure, my friend. The adventure continues. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Lazy King, abdouraguimov.
Victorious again, the 19th victory of his pro mixed martial arts career. This one by decision over staropoli. Abdouraguimov closes out 2024. 2025 is going to start for us in Dubai.
One of the best lightweight in the world.
He's been waiting for a moment like this, for the doors to swing open.
Was one of the hottest free agents in mixed martial arts. He might be the next big thing.
Anybody who thought Paul Hughes wasn't up to this in his young career was out of their mind.
We all know who we want to see next. We want to see Paul Hughes versus Usman Nurmagomedov for the lightweight belt, and I think we should do it in Dubai.
You seem very fired up about fighting Usman Nurmagomedov.
It's completely a no-brainer. I mean, to do that in Dubai...
You can't script a better story.
Usman Nurmagomedov getting it done!
I want to defend my title next in Dubai.
Let's go!
I'm going to prove that I'm the best fighter in this planet.
I have one goal to be one of the best of all time.
Sean O'Connell and Dan Hardy, one last time here from Lyon, France. An incredible night, great fights. We had PFL European Championship business to take care of. We had some showcase opportunities as well. Doumbé decides, Cedric Doumbé got to put on the Dan Hardy hat and try to evaluate some talent on the rise here in the European scene. And then, of course, an incredible co-main event and main event as well. The Lazy King caps off the night with a very strong performance. Let's go back to the PFL Championship performance. Big checks, big belts, big dreams for all of these people. Florin Zendelli. How about Jakub Kasuba going back-to-back with a foot injury on top of it? And
Nobody wants to stand in front of the left hand of the McGrizzler. Lewis McGrillen is a big-time problem.
No one can stand in front of him. There we go, mic turned on now. No one can stand in front of the McGrillen left hand. That's what we're learning from today. Every single one of those championships gave an incredible performance. I mean, we had finishers, we had comebacks, we had barn burners. I honestly couldn't be more thankful and more grateful to all of the fighters on the card that came and delivered for these fans and for the PFL.
So we had those championship bouts complete with elbows, by the way. Big-time game changers, especially for Jakub Kasuba. And then, as I already mentioned, Doumbé decides. Cedric Doumbé, former kickboxing world champion, multiple-time kickboxing world champion. He's come over to the PFL to make the MMA transition. And he decided he was going to offer contracts. He was going to help us evaluate some of the rising talent. 6 fighters vying for 2 contracts, and instead we gave 3 contracts out. Mahio Campanella with a big-time finish. Duragrin with a complete performance, seeking the finish against Yassine Shatatu the whole time. Really, I think what we've learned over 2 seasons of PFL Europe, Dan, is that this continent is producing some elite prospects, and we're here for the journey as the PFL builds the Champions League model in the sport of mixed martial arts.
We've been so fortunate. I mean, you know, there's so much diversity and skill across the whole of Europe. The real challenge is digging through that 750 million people to find those gems in the rough. And we've seen them here tonight in the Smart Cage. Not only the PFL Championship fighters, but also the showcase bouts. And, you know, Lazy King Patrick Habarori just rocked the house today.
That Patrick Habarori knockout punch,
unreal.
On the switch, perfect timing, perfect accuracy. And after a really strong performance from Catalin Safta, who was very insistent all week long, I'm going to derail the hype train. And I thought he might have a chance. Not tonight, but he's got a bright future as well. We take care of a little business here. I want to show you the takedown of the night, brought to you by the official apparel partner of the PFL and PFL Europe. Takedown of the night. Take your pick, I suppose. How about this one? The timing and turning the corner on that reap from abdouraguimov, the Lazy King. Just when Laureano Staropoli thought that he had that takedown stopped and defended, Lazy King pulls the rug from under him.
It really was superb. I mean, it's just the timing, the technicality of it. You know, he's facing one way, he's driving into the back of his opponent, turns the other way, takes that leg away, and sits Laureano in the opposite direction. I mean, it's just his ability to switch from one thing to another. His wrestling vocabulary is incredible. That was a real treat for us tonight.
And how about in the post-fight, he said, you know what? I feel like now I'm becoming a complete mixed martial artist. 19 wins into his pro mixed martial arts career. He's finally feeling like he's got the comfort with his striking to call himself a well-rounded mixed martial artist. And he's right. The American audience, the U.S. audience, needs a little taste of the Lazy King, so hopefully we can make that happen in 2025. Speaking of 2025, the future for us here in PFL Europe, incredibly bright for the global season. We'll see some changes. I think we're hopefully going to see elbows in every PFL fight moving forward. Fingers crossed for that. And of course, January 25th, the road to Dubai. We will see Usman Nurmagomedov and Paul Hughes in a world title fight. All of that and many more announcements to come. Thanks to all of you for watching all year long. Thanks to the best crew in the entire world. To Andy Shepard, to Dan Hardy, I'm Sean O'Connell. So grateful to do this and call it a job. Stay well, everybody.